I've got a daily dose for you today from the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 19. Also an In Touch devotional from intouch.org that I'd like to share with you today. Lamentations 3:19 says this: "Remember my affliction and my wandering, the wormwood and bitterness. Surely my soul remembers and is bowed down within me. This I recall to my mind, and therefore I have hope. The Lord's loving kindness indeed never cease, for his compassions never fail. They're new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul, and therefore I have hope in him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him. It's good that he waits silently for the salvation of the Lord." This reminder in Lamentations speaks of God's faithfulness and the fact that we can have hope if our hope is placed in him. None of this surprises him. None of the things that our individual lives face surprise him. And as long as we put our hope and our faith and our trust in him, we can get to the end of the tunnel successfully, and eventually salvation comes. There's three thoughts that I wanted to share from this devotion. First of all, we're super hurried in today's environment. I think, COVID has slowed us down somewhat. It's taken away some of the control and freedoms, both, that we've enjoyed. But I think that it's interesting if we can stop and take a look at what's actually happened. There are three reasons that I believe believers are called upon to wait, to be patient, to be slowed down. And Lamentations 3 kind of talks about this. God may be preparing us to receive his blessing. There is a preparation time that oftentimes we have to go through while we're in the waiting. We can hear it in different hymn songs and in Christian music, that there is something happening in the waiting. Even when we don't see him moving, or when we don't see what's going on, he is preparing us. And it may just be that we need some stick-to-itiveness, or we need to be reminded of patience, or being slow to anger, or whatever it may be. God develops us so that we can eventually receive his blessing. It might be a skill set, it might be a maturity level increase, or some other insight that we need from his Spirit. But he prepares us through the waiting period. If we think about examples from the Bible, we know that there are many. David waited years, running around in caves being chased by the enemy before he was actually put on the throne. But all of those persecutions and trials made him a stronger, wiser, battle-tested king. Second, our Father is often teaching us through the waiting periods to have more confidence and trust in him. I know this has happened in my own life, where I've had to stop relying on my own skill sets, my own job, my own career to get somewhere, or to have financial stability or whatever, and refocus my attention, realizing that the skills that I have, the blessings that I have, even the abilities and skills come from the Lord. And so oftentimes in waiting, he is teaching us to have that confidence and trust in him. And sometimes we don't see that very clearly. Thirdly, the Lord will sometimes withhold blessing from us to protect us. And we may never know the reasons for this. Sometimes we can look at things, and we can look at through the lens of a parent and a child. If I give my kid, a bunch of cookies, and I let them just eat them all day long, that's going to make them sick to their stomach. And in that same vein, God can see the full picture. He can see how we're going to respond with a particular blessing, whether it's financial or something else. And he withholds it to protect us from ourselves. Just a few thoughts. God prepares us to receive his blessing. Something happens to us in the waiting. Our Father is teaching us to have more reliance and confidence in him than in ourselves. And thirdly, sometimes he's withholding blessing to protect us from the very thing that could hurt us the most. I hope that helps you today. Lamentations 3:19. Check it out. Have a great day.